If you look at news headlines, you'll see reports of record low unemployment rates and high job availability. But depending on who you are and what job you're looking for, it might not feel like that. Sure, the overall unemployment rate is sitting under the 4% full employment rate, and has been there since December 2021. But this is a particularly hard job market for those in the tech industry, an industry that's seen unemployment increase nearly 10% since April 2023. Around the start of the decline, tech earnings began to suffer. This threatened the prospect of future growth for these companies who rely on earnings to satisfy investors. Now, while a little bit of decline in revenue is normal quarter over quarter, it's very much not welcome. Shareholders generally want to see gains now, and executives are given lucrative compensation packages that are dependent on the short-term performance. So when you're projecting a decline, companies generally find they have two options: increase revenue or decrease expenses. One of the largest expenses in almost any business are the employees. The tech industry had gotten bloated due to the overhiring in 2021 and 2022, so they began cutting what they found to be excess employees in the thousands. Large companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google began trimming large groups of employees. In Amazon's case, this reduction in force reached nearly 16,000 workers. This pool of layoffs, combined with the increasing number of people looking to enter the tech industry for their coveted jobs, well, it's created what is now a very competitive job market. And if you want a job in this coveted tech industry, you need a strong strategy in order to break in. So, with that being said, let's cover what you need to do not only to compete in the tech industry, but to compete in any difficult job market, and how to know when you may just need to pivot. It's important to remember that applying for jobs should be treated like a job, especially when you're unemployed. Just like most things in life, the more effort you put into it, the more likely you're to get something out of it. And when it comes to unemployment and feeding your family, success is a must. The most successful people applying for jobs are the ones that take the entire process seriously. They wake up each and every day like they did for their full-time jobs and attack the job market with a strategy. Don't think you have the freedom while you're jobless. On the contrary, you still have a 9 to 5, but now you're a professional job seeker. Spend all day every day applying for positions and scouting for potential connections and leads. Your goal should be to apply to as many jobs as possible each and every day while also maintaining quality. Like meeting with a fellow employee or a partner to your business, you know that each of them are different and has their own unique set of traits or needs. If you've ever been in a sales position or had to sell something, you understand that you need to get to know each client and their individual needs before trying to make that sale. Only then can you know if they even need the product you're offering in the first place, or if your solution addresses their problem. When applying for jobs, you need to think of yourself as a salesman. I know most of us aren't natural in this realm, but selling is an important part of life. You need to sell your ideas to your boss or sell your spouse into letting you buy that new boat. It's not enough for you to blindly fill and send out an application for each role. You need to start by doing your research and getting to know the job you're applying for. What does the company need and which skill sets do they value? How can you highlight your own skill set to meet the needs of the business? From there, you need to update and tweak your resume to show the business that you have the skill sets they desire. Are you applying for a role as a salesperson, but your resume is highlighting your Excel skills? Extreme example, but you get the point. Sales jobs probably will see that and just write you off. If you're applying for multiple types of jobs, you may want to have a few base versions of your resume available. One for sales, one for marketing, and one for customer service. Whatever set of jobs you're looking for. And don't forget, learn the lingo around each job. No matter what industry you've worked in, you know there's always some sort of industry language you need to know. Make sure you know the buzzwords so that prospective employers know that you know what you're talking about. For example, in my previous line of work as a product manager, using terminology like product roadmap, product market fit, and agile in my resume and interviews helped me land my job, as it showed managers that I knew my stuff. And it's pretty easy to find these buzzwords. If there are any types of training manuals or books around your profession, they usually contain the words you need. Also, a simple search for insert career here and buzzwords will often give you an idea of the words you need to be using to wow employers. Okay, so now you've been accepted for the interview. Always practice and be prepared. Look up and go through as many interview questions as you can find or think of. I always like to make sure I have specific examples in my back pocket of when I had to show these skills in my previous line of work. Specific examples show employers that you aren't just lying and can back up those talents you are showcasing in the interview. While doing this, be sure to learn any applicable skills and try to keep up with industry trends. AI has quickly changed the way we work and, most importantly, made the workforce more efficient. While some suggest that AI could replace millions of jobs, currently employers are leveraging it to optimize processes and tasks such as scheduling, note-taking, writing, and creative development. Learning how AI can help you in the roles you're looking for can make you an even better valuable employee. You're not only coming to the role with yourself and your skills, but also bringing some extra talent with you in the form of the skills you're knowledgeable in, for example, AI in this case. If you're a coder, begin learning different languages, and if you work in project management, get a certification that really solidifies that you know what you're doing. All these little improvements add up over the course of weeks, months, and years until they begin calling you an industry expert. As a professional job seeker, you know that the connections you make are also very important. Because of the increased competition, it's very easy for your application to get lost through LinkedIn or any other job posting site. On top of that, you may be competing with some really strong candidates. Thanks to the layoffs, former top employees with some major connections such as Google and Amazon may also be in the application pool. There are simply a lot of options for employers at that point. So how do you stand out? Well, by developing relationships. Some can argue that the interview process is not long enough to truly get a strong understanding of who you're hiring. Employers need to trust that the stranger on the other side is who they say they are. But by building a rapport with the employer or someone else they trust, then you get an edge here. But get creative on this front. One of my favorite ways to do this is to network with colleagues in the industry. Yes, always message the recruiter and the hiring manager, but developing a relationship with someone at the company can lead to a valuable referral. Often, company employees aren't as overwhelmed with messages and are more likely to meet with you or be receptive to you reaching out. On top of that, who doesn't want to increase their network or help someone else in the industry? Employees may also get a referral bonus for finding employees, so the relationship with you may come with some perks for them as well. Spend some time and reach out to those in roles you want to pursue. To keep it professional, find and reach out to these people on LinkedIn. Ask them for coffee or a virtual call to ask about the role and industry. Ask if there's an opening at their company that they're willing to recommend you for. And if you're rejected, don't sweat it, but keep reaching out. Remember, as a professional job seeker, you are a salesman and not everyone will need your services. If you've done all these things but you're still struggling to find a job, it may be time to consider some other options. First, industries ebb and flow. Higher demand industries change, and being first to the revolving door can mean a better career and quality of life. As of now, those looking for a tech job are struggling, but the unemployment rate is low overall. That's because industries like government, healthcare, and construction are booming. And those industries all have very safe and lucrative opportunities for you to take advantage of. Tech is no longer the only way to have a high-paying, yet great career, even without an advanced degree. Check out your options and see if there's anything you may be interested in at one of the booming companies in these industries. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, medical and health services management is the 5th largest growing profession, with a median salary of $105,930 a year. These jobs typically require just a bachelor's degree and less than 5 years of experience. The healthcare industry is one with staying power because of our ever-growing and aging population. Look to either get one of these management positions or get in the door with a company that will let you move into one. Now, if you're pursuing your passion and don't want to pivot just for the money, then you might consider a slight detour and work yourself up the ladder again. Look to take on a lower entry-level job that can gain you access into the business that is offering your coveted position. Showing your ability to perform in this role and making connections along the way can get you a better chance of moving up or laterally into that specific role. Taking the time to learn these skills and build your reputation can put you at the top of the list when they begin hiring for your preferred position again. If you're a designer, marketer, or any other professional that provides a hard skill, then look to freelance for a little bit and sell your services to an individual business. This can be a good way to form connections, bolster your resume, and keep your skills sharp. These days, Websites like Fiverr or Upwork make it easier to sell your services online. You can also learn to put up meta ads that advertise your services that you offer on these websites. Also, be ready to take an internship or work for a lower rate than you wanted to land the role you really want. When taking these positions though, be sure that there's a clear path to the role that you want to get. Working for a lower wage does not make sense if you and your employer have not discussed the path for full employment. Ask them what you need to do to gain full employment before agreeing to these arrangements. It could also be time to hire someone that can write your resume or coach you on how to land your dream job. These options aren't right for everyone, but if you need that extra hand-holding, these investments can be invaluable. Now, if you've tried all the things we've talked about and you still aren't landing that job, remaining persistent is all that you can do. Don't give up and continue chipping away at it. Landing a job is a game of numbers and skills. As a professional job seeker, don't give up until the job is done. The longer you're at it, the higher the chances of success. Check out all the links in the description below, as they are the resources that I use or would use in specific situations, and this also includes the best budgeting program in the history of the internet.